Hello everyone, my name is Enrique Romeo and I'm a project manager at Mundus Education and Mobility, an entity specialized in international mobility projects to improve the employability of young people. First of all, let's talk a bit about who we are. We are a group of enterprises and our headquarters are located in Zaragoza, Spain, and we have more than 10 years experience in international mobility. Basically, what we do is organize student mobilities and internships for schools, mainly funded by the Erasmus Plus program. So we have a wide network of staff that manage to do 3,000 mobilities per year, sometimes more, a network of more than 600 collaborating companies and 400 vet schools all around Europe that send us their students for internships in companies, job shadowing, and also we organize teacher training. So what we do is we provide services of accommodation, training sessions, mentoring, work placements, transfer and local transportation, cultural activities, and emergency support for big groups of students that want to do their internship with us. We have at least 5 hosting offices, one in Zaragoza with our headquarters, two in Canary Islands, so Fuerteventura and Gran Canaria, as well as one in Coimbra and our most recent office in Nice, France. Furthermore, we have a non-profit organization called Associación Mundus, which develops and leads international projects in the educational field, promoting innovation and international cooperation, specifically on the African continent. As part of our work, we are part of several European organizations like EVBB, FVET, EAFA, EFTA, ALDA, Yes Forum, and the TV cluster in Africa of the African Union. That's because we have a department of international projects, as we mentioned, in Associación Mundus, and we have more than 50 projects in more than 50 countries and a total of 10 project managers dedicated to this. Basically, our mission is the internationalization of VET and mobility excellence through supporting the internationalization processes, fostering capacity building of professionals, and also boosting the employability of young people. The kind of work we do is from our mobility expertise, we work towards the internationalization of VET, supporting intercontinental mobilities, and recently working with inclusive mobilities as well. So, based on this, we are going to talk today about internationalization, specifically for vet schools, and focusing more on the Erasmus Plus program. The main question is, what is internationalization? Well, internationalization is the expansion of companies or educational institutions into global markets, akin to globalization. In education, it involves integrating teaching and learning with diverse cultures to cultivate globalized learning experiences. So, internationalization has to do with new skills, cross cultural curriculum integration, institutions, and more interconnected with others, and also a more prepared staff for a global world. Now, you may ask, why is it important to go international? Well, first of all, we live in a global world, even though some people talk about globalization or deglobalization, we still have enormous interconnections with other countries and other institutions. So there are global challenges that affect all of us. Then it is important because we can work together for a common goal with people from other countries. And also, it helps us align with international policies of the EU and the United Nations and other international organizations that also help our vet school or institution to be more globally aligned with the tendencies in the world. The educational improvements through global perspectives has been researched, and it is proven that there's enhanced employability, there's more innovation, there are more cultural competences, and there's broader insights for industries and networking opportunities when we go international, because it helps us discover other perspectives, other ideas, and other ways of doing things in other cultures. So it helps us actually widen our horizons and widen our ideas for the work that we do every day in our vet schools. Some keywords for internationalization: educational quality, cultural exchange, international reputation and visibility, and also nurturing competences in our school. So, how can we promote cultural exchange and internationalization in the educational context? Well, first of all, you can incorporate new teaching methods by exchanging with other schools and other cultures. You can also integrate global case studies and also promote peer to peer learning through exchanges, international mobilities, etc. So, learners are exposed to different cultural perspectives, and then they can come back to your school with a more inclusive, globally aware educational idea or environment. Some competences that are developed due to internationalization. First of all, cross cultural communication. You can interact with other cultures and people from diverse backgrounds. Second of all, language proficiency. You can develop proficiency in global languages like English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, or some others. Then global collaboration. Number three, you can engage in projects with international peers. So you can discover what they do and how to engage in cooperation with them. Intercultural training for in a more intercultural environment. And due to migration, most of our environments are multicultural. You're more aware of cultural differences in educational practices. And finally, through international experience, you can gain insights and new ideas by doing internships or studying abroad. Finally, your institution can gain a better reputation and more visibility because you engage in international collaboration, and then your institution becomes well known because you participate in international forums. Then you can maybe show your good practices in through websites or through different projects. So it actually becomes a showcase for your um, good practices, your staff, your different educational programs, etc. So it is very important and very interesting. Here are some funding opportunities like the European Social Fund, the ESIF, the European Structural and Investment Funds, and the ETF, European Training Foundation. Nevertheless, we're going to focus more on the Erasmus Plus program. So, moving into concrete, exact examples of how to go international as a vet school. So, the first step, I would say, is to create an international department. This doesn't mean that you need to create a building called International Department or that you need to dedicate a specific room, but you need to have, first of all, a strategy for internationalization. So, what do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? And second of all, a team, a group of people that, as part of their functions, be it a teacher, be it a part of the staff, the vet school director, need to develop or dedicate some part of their time to actually think about going international, participating into projects, writing proposals, etc. Okay, so first of all, the strategy, so anchored strategy, then the team. Okay, a plan with team and specific functions for each person to go international. So first of all, you need the strategy, and for the strategy you need, number one, the mission, what skills you have, the main values. So for example, if you want to create a team, you need to get people that actually speak up languages, that are willing to go international, that have the skills to participate in projects, be it project writing, project implementation, etc. Then you need to set your goals. What do you want to achieve? A timeline. In, let's say, for example, I want to write at least 5 projects for the next 3 years, or I want to see my school participating in 3 or 4 exchanges, or I want to exchange with this country or this other country. So specific goals and a vision. So your school needs to be thought of as international. So how do I want to see my school in the long term, in the midterm, etc. Okay, and what are the practical steps to be taken? So, do we need specific funding for these people? Do we need to free them from activities in order for them to uh, do projects and participate in project proposals? Do they need to teach less hours so that they can dedicate more time to this? So, it is basic in elements of your strategy that need to be put in place. Then the strategic journey. This is from a project called SAM that we're going to talk about a bit later. The strategic journey has 8 steps. Okay, so first you need to map your existing internationalization activities. So maybe you have some contacts with other international schools, or you already do mobilities, and then you need to create a document or a summary of all your projects, international activities, and possible strategic documents to use, and drawing a timeline of the developments achieved so far. Then analyze the operational environment and broader strategies. So make a table of some institutions in your environment that actually work with internationalization, some sectoral strategies, maybe some documents in your regional governments or national governments that can help you go international. Then understand the core skills present in your organization, as we said. Carry out a small survey of the staff and their international experience, who would be more suitable to participate in mobilities in the international department, etc. And then examine the mission and values in your organization from the viewpoint of internationalization. Is our organization ready to go international? Is it not? How can we go? Do we need to modify some of our departments to make them international, etc.? Then formulate a vision, as we said, arrange a small workshop to discuss what do we want to achieve, what are our goals, what are the skills, where do we want to be in 5 to 10 years, who will be the team. Set the goals, write them down of, let's say, your vision for the international activities, then decide on an action plan, at least for the first year. So actual milestones, roles. So we want to present a project for this goal, or we want to write this, let's say, key action 2 project, or we want to contact this school, and then communicate to all the actors and stakeholders. So let your environment know, your regional government, other schools, that you want to go international, to see if they can help you in the process. Now we're going to talk about the Erasmus Plus program. And the Erasmus Plus program is a good tool for internationalization. Okay, it's, let's say, an easy tool, especially in Europe and Middle East and North Africa, which is the scope for pools. What are the benefits and its different actions, and how can be implemented in Sub-Saharan Africa or North Africa? So the Erasmus Plus program is the European Union's flagship program for education, training, youth, and sports. So it promotes mobility, cooperation, development of skills. So it's a massive program with a lot of money into it, and it includes skills enhancing, lifelong learning, promoting inclusion and diversity, global cooperation. So here you have the QR code. You can visit the Erasmus Plus website and download the guide and read it. I know it's really long, but it actually will help you understand what the program is. So the Erasmus Plus program has more than 2.2 billion euros only for projects in Africa. Okay, so it includes global mobility, it includes building bridges, it includes global recognition, encouraging diversity. It has many aspects of the program that are to be promoted, and other activities, other schools not in Europe can enjoy from it. So the main actions are: Key Action 1, mobility of students; Key Action 2, cooperation among institutions and organizations; Key Action 3, support for public policy reform. Okay, so those are the 3 key actions in Erasmus Plus. Then we have the Jamonet actions, Centers for Excellence, Erasmus Plus virtual exchanges, and also the Erasmus Plus cooperation outside the EU. Okay, some figures for you to see the impact of Erasmus Plus. So first of all, more than 15 million mobilities as of 2024. Okay, those are the latest available data. That's a massive amount of mobilities. I think every European young person has been through Erasmus, or almost everyone. Then it promotes inclusion. Okay, 39% of the mobility participants came from an unprivileged background, and at least 33% of the granted projects supported environment and climate change action. So the total budget for the program that is ending in 2027 was 24,574 million euros. So a lot of money going into everything that has to do with climate change, digitalization, social inclusion, and also mobilities. Once you get the presentation, you can see this video about what Erasmus Plus is, and you can actually understand what the program can provide to your organization. So, some benefits of Erasmus Plus. The first one, for individuals, they provide life-changing experiences. For institutions, they provide knowledge transfer and joint research projects. Capacity building and sharing of best practices. For communities, promotes tolerance, inclusivity, and for the world, it provides a more interconnected, inclusive, and resilient society. So, the available opportunities under Erasmus Plus in Africa. The first one is international credit mobility. The second one is Erasmus Mundus joint master programs. The third one is capacity building in higher education for higher education institutions. Capacity building in VET, the one that we're going to focus more on, Jean Monnet activities, capacity building in youth, that's a new one in 2025, and Erasmus Plus virtual exchange activities, okay? The one that we're going to explain, since we are on a VET-focused program, is the capacity building in VET. So the type of project that Pulse is for us today. So going into CBVET, capacity building in the field of VET, it is a specific call launched by Erasmus Plus for cooperation with third parties, okay? Third country programs, so not in Europe. Middle East, also available for Middle East and North Africa, of course, Southern Mediterranean countries, Region 3, but also for Western Balkans, Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, the Caribbean, etc. Okay, so it's an international cooperation action. And what is the call about? So mainly capacity building projects are international cooperation projects based on partnerships between organizations active in the field of VET. Specifically, the coordinator needs to be an EU member state, but also non-EU countries can participate in these specific projects. So what's the objective of CBVET actions? Number one, improve the relevance. Number two, the accessibility. And number three, the responsiveness of VET institutions and VET systems. Three objectives: build capacity of VET providers and strengthen cooperation between private and public stakeholders, improve the quality and responsiveness of VET to economical and social developments, to enhance the labor market relevance of skills provision, and align VET provision to local, regional and national development strategies. So both on systemic level, improving the quality and also improving the teacher capacity, aligning VET provision to your needs. The call has some horizontal aspects, including inclusion and diversity, environmental sustainability, digital dimension, common values, civic engagement and participation, and some regional priorities as well, depending on which part of the world you're in. So who can participate? The applicant needs to be from an EU member state. Then you can have an applicant from a third country associated to the program, which includes Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, North Macedonia, Serbia, and Turkey. And then the rest of participants needs to be participants from the region not associated to the program, okay? So you can have, let's say, 3 members from EU countries and then 6 members from third countries not associated to the program, okay? These people or these participating organizations can come from Western Balkans, Neighborhood East, South Mediterranean countries, Sub-Saharan Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, okay? And the indicative budget for each region is always published in the Funding and Tenders portal. You can access it once you get the presentation that will be attached to this unit. So the call, it's indicated as Erasmus Edu 2026. The next year will be 2027, CBVET. And the duration of the projects can be only 36 months. And the usual grant can go from 100,000, and now this year the maximum grant is 500,000. Okay, and the total EU grant for all projects in all regions is 25 million euros, and projects are co-financed at 80%. The venues of the activities can be anywhere from EU countries to non-EU countries, and the financial mechanism is lump sums type 2. So no tables with costs, just actual costs. So what kind of projects can you present? So everything that has to do with work-based learning, quality assurance mechanism, PPPs in VET, so public-private partnerships, key competences, professional development of VET teachers, skills mismatching, innovation in VET, anything in from thematic areas to transversal areas or whatever you need. So usually this is a normal timeline. You present your projects in February, then in August, September, you have the results. In September, November, you have the validation process. And in November, December, you have the grant agreement and the project kickoff for the next year. So the key points: the number of organizations from EU member states plus the third countries associated to the program cannot be higher than the number of organizations from eligible third countries. Okay, so you need to have more associations, institutions, sorry, from third countries than EU associations. Anyone can be applicant from an EU member state. You cannot be an applicant or coordinator if you are not in an EU member state, but you can be an associated beneficiary. You can get part of the money, of course, but you cannot be applicant if you're not in the EU member state. And also bear in mind that you can have associated partners with no budget that will also be part of the project. You can see all the selected projects in the funding and tenders program. You can click on the link once you get the presentation and access all the previously funded projects. So if you want to get more information about the Erasmus Plus, you have national focal points in your country or national Erasmus offices, and they are in charge of capacity building for people that want to be applicants of Erasmus Plus projects, the different promotion of opportunities, the facilitation of partnerships, and they will facilitate your capacity, and they will provide you with special resources and ideas for your project. So that will be all from my side. Thank you so much for your attention, and we are open for contact. If you have any questions, you can use the post platform or our email if you're in the live sessions to contact us in case you have any further questions. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.